Hey, it's Miss Alana working on math, being smart, awesome, and amazing, just like you. This right here is the task that we will be working on in this video. So if you need the video for any of the other tasks, go find that. Let's begin by doing what? Reading our standard, and bam, it's the turquoise table right here. Let's start by reading the domain. Read it with me. It says number and operations in base 10. There is your essential question. What does it say? What strategies help when performing operations on decimals? Here's our learning target, so make sure you write that down in your journal. Be prepared, have your journal and your pencil. Read that with me. It says, I can use strategies to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals to the hundreds place. All right, and what standard are we working on? Bam, right here on our triangular prism. Read that. Let me step over here. Can you see that? All right, the standard is MGSE5.NBT.7. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals to hundreds using concrete models or drawings and strategies based on place value, properties of operations, and or the relationship between addition and subtraction. Relate the strategy to a written method and explain the reasoning used. Bam! Vocabulary words right here. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, decimals, hundreds, concrete models and drawings, strategies, place value, properties of operations, relationship, addition, subtraction. And our rigor, our challenge for this task is to use concrete models or drawings and strategies, relate the strategy, explain the reasoning used. Are you ready to begin? Let's begin. So let's start off by reading. Let's take a look at this problem. It says, use the model to subtract. Now, what is a model? A model, okay, not the one that... Not that kind of model. This model is a visual representation that shows you a picture of the math, the numbers that we are going to do, okay? So here we have, a bunch of different decimals right here and two models right here. And what operation are we doing? Subtracting. It says it right there, subtract. So I want you to help me read the decimals. Let's do that together. Let's start over here. What is that? 3/10. It's one digit after the decimal, and that is the tenths place. So that's 3/10. And what is this? No, we don't say 3.0. Don't say that P word. And it's not 3 and 0 tenths. It's just a 3. 3 whole. And that 3 is in the what place? That is the ones place. Look at the next number. What is that? That is a 1. That's a 1 whole. 1 and 37 hundredths. Remember, 2 decimal places after the decimal point is your hundredths place. Tenths, hundredths. And look at the next one. Okay, we just say that 67 hundredths. We don't have to say the 0. We don't have to say 0 and just say 67 hundredths. And what is this number right here? That is 7/10. 7/10. And let's read the next number. It says 77 hundredths. Remember, tenths, hundredths. So that's the hundredths place. 77 hundredths. And the last one we have 3, not 3/10. Look, that's a tenth. That's the hundredths place. So that's 3 hundredths. Now, we need to select one of those decimal numbers. Well, several of those decimal numbers. Which of these decimals represents this first model, that first picture right there? Okay, that's so easy. But if you don't know, let's think about it. This is a whole. The whole thing is a whole. Is the whole thing shaded? Oh no, the whole thing is not shaded. So definitely it's not 3 whole. It's not 1 whole and 37 hundredths, because that would be more than that. So we know that if less than a whole is shaded, then our number is less than 1. And is it split into tenths or hundreds? Is that split into 10 different pieces or 100 different pieces? That's right, 10 different pieces. And let's count how many of those pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7/10. Now, if we were to write the fraction, we would write the fraction like that, 7/10. What is the equivalent decimal for that? This one right here, 7/10. Now, draw that as best as you can in your journal, okay? Just do your best. You can use math tools. You can use a ruler to make sure your lines are straight. And try as best as you can to make sure that those pieces are equal size pieces, okay? Look at the next one. How is that hole? Now, first of all, is the hole shaded? Oh, no. Is more or less than the hole shaded? Less than that hole. How many pieces do we see? That's 100. I know you did not sit there and count 1, 2, 3, all the way to 100. You just know that right there is a 100. It's a hundreds block. It has 100 pieces in it. Let's count. Now we can count by rows. Don't count one by one. That'll take forever. We can count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 67. What? 67 hundredths, which is bam right there. And I can write that as a fraction, 67 hundredths. And we need to write the decimal that way. Okay? Now, 2 ways I want you to subtract it. The first way is by using the model. And the second way is by using your standard algorithm. We're going to just write it out. Let's look at our clues for learning. It says write what each model represents. Remember to write the decimals correctly using tenths and hundredths. Then subtract. You can use the standard algorithm to subtract. Don't forget to put zeros for placeholders. You can use a calculator to check your work. That's right. You can use a calculator, not now, when you are finished. All right, let's look at the model. Now, we cannot take these pieces away from these pieces. Why not? Because they're not the same size pieces. They are not the same size pieces. How can I turn them into the same size pieces? So I need to change one of the models. Would I change this one or this one? Which one would I change? I would change this one. So I have tenths here. How can I make this look just like that? What would I do? I can draw lines going this way. You see these lines, bam, 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 are right there. But they also have lines going this way. So I'm going to do my best to draw the lines. And I'm going to kind of copy the size of that one. 1, 2. Now, if I need 10 different spaces, how many lines do I draw? 9 lines. Remember, if you need however many equal pieces, subtract 1 from that, and that's how many lines you draw. So there's 2. Some of these are not straight, but that's okay. Just do your best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, those are not equal at all. And let's count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now, instead of having 7 tenths, what do we have now? We have 70 tenths. So remember, that's the same thing. And when we use our standard algorithm, and remember, first number always goes first, we line up our decimals. Oops, nope. 67. What do we always have to make sure we do? Put a 0 right there. Bam, there's a 0. And the reason that's the same, look, 70. We just did that right here. And then now we can subtract. So 0 take away 7. We can't do that. So that's 0. Hello, 7. Let me borrow from you. That 7 turns into a 6. That 0 turns into a 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 6 minus 6, that's a 0. Bring down that decimal 0. And what's our answer? 300. Now, if we are looking at the model, let me switch the pen. So if I have 7 tenths, which is 70 hundredths, I need to take away 67. So now this one's going that way and this one's going down. So I'm just going to count by column. These are rows. These are columns. Take away 67. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. And bam, what's left right there? 300 pieces. So we know that 7 tenths minus 67 hundredths is 300 right there. Bam. So make sure that you write that out, work it out in your journal, draw the model as best as you can, work it out this way. both ways because that's what makes you smart, knowing so many different ways to do the same exact kind of math. If you need the other videos, go find the other videos. Until then, love you.